White House condemns China for delaying Hong Kong elections despite Trump suggesting same for U.S.
This post received a score of 66,000, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Trump suggesting delaying elections, White House silence. Hong Kong delays elections, White House cries undemocratic. The hypocrisy is astounding.
Same goes for the recent past year's protests, even if they are present for very different reasons. The WH and the US condemned China and the HK leadership for establishing order in HK by removing the elements of vandalism and illegalities. But when similar protesters started to show up in the US, maintaining order was a top priority by the WH. The US aren't disqualifying candidates and had different reasons to potentially postpone the election than HK, but yes, there's definitely hypocrisy involved.
Yeah, things are always undemocratic when they happen elsewhere. The government where I live, for example, condemned Venezuela's National Guard excessive use of force during protests. But then, when we had our own protests last year and the same thing happened here. Yeah, you probably know how it went. Bunch of hypocrites.
Furthermore, every country has security laws against treason. China implementing these laws are just copying countries like Australia and Japan. Try starting a secession movement in Australia with foreign help and see how long that lasts before getting imprisoned.
The US passed the Patriots Act as a countermeasure to terrorism. The leaders of the Hong Kong protests received millions from NGOs based in the US. The US was very aggressive in their handling of the protests. The US had arrested 11,000 people, used excessive force, and called in the National Guard after 10 days. Can you imagine what would happen if leaders in BLM received money from Russia?
Wait a month or so when he references China and Bolivia for delaying their elections, so the US should be able to do it as well. Please wake up, Trump fans, please.
You can't wake up when you are high on opioids and racism.
When meth ravaged rural America, we really should have seen this coming. They were already racist, but now they're insane.
It's also suburban anti-vax Karens and 5G fearing New Age hippies who have been radicalized into the far right and the Trump cult by QAnon. The tentacles of fascist information warfare shoot out in many directions, targeting a wide range of demographics.
It's also the 70-year-old grandparents who I guess always had these thoughts and now think it's all right to show them. My grandma has always been incredibly kind, and up until last week I've never heard her say anything negative about black people in my entire life. It made me feel like shit, because I've always looked up to my grandma. My grandpa is openly racist and she always scolded him for saying nasty words, but that's changed now.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.